mindfulness meditation guided by Alana Tart, professional MBSR or mindfulness-based stress reduction instructor. This is a long meditation practice using sound as your anchor in the position you feel most comfortable. So find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, where your spine can be aligned and your chest open. Just adjust your body into the position that feels right for you. If you need to move during this practice, do so slowly, quietly, and mindfully. Now either close your eyes or gently look at one place, setting aside the usual mode in which we operate, that of more or less constant doing, and choosing now to switch to a mode of non-doing, of simply being. Noticing that the breath is happening now in this moment and feeling the natural flow of the breath from the inside. Letting go of any need to alter or to change the breath in any way. Becoming aware of where you feel the breath, where you sense the breath in the body, moment by moment. See if you can feel the sensations of breath, one breath at a time. Noticing the continuous flow of when one breath ends and the next begins. Not trying to do anything or to get any place, simply being with breathing, giving your full care and attention to each breath. Becoming aware now of the body, becoming aware of where the body and the chair or mat meet, noticing the sensation of what is underneath you, holding you, supporting you. Bringing awareness now to the contact points between the chair or floor and the body, and becoming aware of the sensations around these contact points. Now we expand our awareness to sense the whole body, sitting or lying here breathing. Now let's experiment with letting go of the sense of the body as the primary locus of our attention and giving ourselves over to another aspect of the present moment, namely hearing. Expand our attention to include hearing, so turning the awareness now to the soundscape around us, recognizing that we are immersed in and bathed by a soundscape that is continually present to our ears, courtesy of the air. So right now, in this moment, letting the breath and sense of the body move into the background of our attentional field and featuring instead hearing itself. Giving our full attention to hearing whatever is here to be heard. The sounds and the space between the sounds. Moment by moment, being in touch with hearing. Opening to sounds as they arise from near and from far. Allowing the ears to receive the sensation of sound. Sounds from in front to the sides, behind, above, and below. Inviting all sounds into your awareness. Let the sounds you hear be the anchor of your awareness. If your mind wanders, which it will do, simply bring it back to hearing the arising sounds. Rest all of your attention on the sounds you hear. As you listen, there's no need to identify, interpret, or judge the sounds. Gently hear the sounds as they are, acknowledging them and adding nothing to them. All kinds of sounds will come and go. Noticing sounds that are close to the body, perhaps even coming from inside the body. Noticing the sound of the air traveling through the nose. Perhaps the subtle sound of clothes moving on the body as the breath enters the body and leaves the body. Without straining, listen to all of the sounds coming from inside of this room and outside of this room. Now note the most distant sound you can hear. Notice how awareness can extend to the furthest sound. Now, gently let your awareness listen globally to all sounds that arise. The sound of my voice, the sound of birds or of cars outside, the hum of machinery in the building. Just notice whatever sounds arise. Allow curiosity, noticing the qualities of sounds, loud sounds or quiet sounds. The layering of sounds, how they weave in and out of each other. Noticing if there are any judgments or evaluations of the sounds we're hearing. Whether there's some we find pleasing and others not. Whether some we wish were louder and others absent altogether. Just letting whatever sounds are actually here to be here, as they are sounds. Witnessing sounds as they arise, stay a while, and disappear. Noticing and witnessing. Witnessing each sound as if for the first time, cultivating a sense of wonder for this ability to hear so much. Perhaps noticing sounds within sounds, the quieter space between sounds, and the space out of which all sounds arise. If you hear someone speaking, including me, do not concern yourself with trying to understand the words. Simply hear the sound and allow the sound to be, whether the sound is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Allow all of the sounds to be as they are. Notice how the sounds you hear are impersonal. The sounds arise due to numerous causes and conditions that are outside of your control. Because these sounds have nothing to do with you and are outside of your control, you can just allow the sounds to be. From the perspective of awareness, all sounds are equal. Observe how the sounds are dynamic, changing, temporary, and impermanent. The mind will inevitably wander away from the sounds from time to time. This is what minds do. When you notice it, gently acknowledge it. Notice where the mind has gone off to, and then gently return your attention to the sounds. In addition to the sounds that you hear, listen also to the silence. Notice how all of the sounds come from silence and return to silence. You may even hear how silence seems to surround and penetrate the sounds. As you listen to the silence and listen to the sounds, feel what arises in your body. Allow awareness to listen globally to all sounds that arise. Notice the qualities of listening. Listening happens whether you want it to or not. Listening is simply there. The awareness in you simply hears what it hears. Pay attention to all of the sounds you can hear, whether near or far, loud or soft. Notice how awareness simply lets sound be sound. We know that sounds are not me or mine because they constantly come and go while we are still here. We know that sounds are not me or mine because we can't control them. Yes, we experience them, and at times we can influence them, but they arise due to many causes and conditions we have no control over. And now, when you're ready, let go of hearing for a moment, even though the sounds will still be coming to our ears. Instead, intentionally feature the stream of thinking itself center stage in the field of our awareness. This is not the same as inviting ourselves to think as many thoughts as possible, or any at all, or even to search for thoughts, but rather to simply recognize them as thoughts when they do arise in the field of awareness with the same qualities of attention that we have been bringing to sounds. We can be in relation to our thoughts in the very same way we were just in relationship to sounds, treating them as discrete events in the field of awareness that arise and linger ever so briefly and then pass away, just as do sounds. Noticing their various features, their content, their emotional charge, whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And rather than getting pulled into the content and thus into the thought stream itself, where one thought just leads to another, which leads to another ad infinitum, we simply listen to the thought stream as it flows along. And when we are pulled into the stream itself, which we will inevitably be from time to time, just noticing that that has happened whenever you become aware, and return to just attending to each thought as a thought, not as a truth, not as a fact, not as a seduction, but as one more feature of our interior landscape. Letting go of any need to control thoughts in any way. Letting them come and go on their own, just as we did with sounds. Perhaps seeing much more clearly than usual exactly what is unfolding in the chatter and commentary in our own minds. Seeing each thought vividly as it arises, lingers, dissolves, and then another thought arises, and perhaps detecting as well the spaces between thoughts, those moments when no thought is arising. Coming back over and over again to this attending when you do get lost in thought, and finally recognize it so you're ready back outside the thought stream, already attending once again. And when you're ready, now letting go of attending to the thought stream and return to the sounds. The sounds of your body, the sounds of the room, the sounds outside of the room. Allowing the ears to receive sounds without judgment. Letting go of the tendency to judge, to label, to attach a storyline. Allowing them to just be as they are and simply attending to the moment. Just let the sounds you hear be your anchor in the present moment, knowing that you can use it as an anchor whenever you need. Now, return to our breath for a few moments. Return to the sensation of it entering and then leaving your body. Just be with the breath. As we come to the end of the practice, slowly begin to expand your awareness. Become aware of your position and the physical sensations. Trusting movement as it arrives back into the body. When you're ready, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Start to stretch. Draw your attention out, expanding into the room. Slowly open or refocus your eyes. And welcome back.